The following segments are pre-recorded and sponsored by Longworth Productions.
Major funding for Triad Today comes from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, making healthcare better for all. Code enforcement on Triad Today. Hello everyone, I'm Jim Longworth and welcome to another edition of Triad Today, coming to you once again from the Kernersville Auto Museum. We'll tell you more about that later on, and later on when the roundtable shows up, we'll get into all sorts of controversies with those guys, so stay tuned. Where we want to start though is two good friends of mine and of the show. You've seen them both here many times before. My immediate right, Jimmy Flight, the far right, his buddy Hank Henning, and they're both directors of government community relations for Duke Energy. Guys, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. We are here, Hank and I especially, to honor you, Jimmy, because Hank told me one day, he said, Jimmy's retiring. It's been 40 years.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to get to you in a second. Hank,
Sure.
let me start with you.
Yeah.
Not on a personal level, we'll talk about that in a minute, but on a professional level, what's been Jimmy's commitment and contribution in terms of company and community?
Yeah, so it's a bittersweet thing. I've really enjoyed working with and for Jimmy, and you know, in the 4 years I've been here, seen someone with his tenure who just takes all of our customer concerns and our people are important to the community, take them very seriously, and you know, whether it's someone with just a tree issue or someone with a bigger more widespread issue, he's just always been there for our customers.
Exactly.
And puts them first, makes them a priority, and that's been a great learning experience for me.
Very quickly, I don't think I've ever asked you this on camera. Did you tell me you're from South Carolina?
Well, I went to college in South Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to Clemson University, got an electrical engineering degree there, and then I got my MBA after I started work at Duke Energy at UNC Charlotte in an evening program.
Right, and then 40 years at Duke Energy. What are some of the highlights and changes you've seen at Duke Energy over the past 4 decades that, in terms of expanding facilities, regional growth, that kind of thing? What stands out?
You know, it's just amazing. You think about when I started, it was Duke Power Company. We didn't even have desktop computers, you know, at the time, 40 years ago. And just the way we've used technology to better serve our customers and the growth the company's had. I think back then it was about 2 million customers that Duke Power served. Now it's almost 9 million customers and several states. So it's been interesting to see how it changes. You know, I've really appreciated the technology. You know, it's just the way you deliver and produce electricity. It hadn't changed a whole lot.
Right.
But using technology and the computers and being able to analyze things, it just improved customer service and reliability a ton in those 40 years.
Yeah, and what's been most gratifying to you over those 40 years, especially in your current position? You've been in for like 23 years in serving the community specifically. What's been gratifying to you?
Yeah, you know, I think, you know, as an engineer, you know, solving problems, more, you know, mathematical type problems, and in the government community relations role that I'm in now, still solving problems. And so trying to help somebody out, get a resolution, bring different parties together, has been real rewarding, and enjoy that. And then you look at the storm trouble when we've had some major storms, and the work that we all do to try to get the resolution to that and get the power back on. That's a really gratifying to get through those things.
Well, then very quickly, what's going on with the retirement? What are you going to do?
Yeah, you know, I'm going to exercise more for one thing. It's been busy. I haven't had time to do that. I'm going to play a little more golf and spend a little bit more time on the lake. Those sorts of things. And I'm going to volunteer some more in different capacities, and I just want to be a worker bee and not a board member.
Yeah, I tell you, something else. Hank, sort of close out for us on a personal level. What has Jimmy's commitment and friendship meant to you?
Oh, it's you know, to come over to the Duke Energy team, it's just been a great experience. Like I said, you know, his commitment to our customers and just our entire team here, personally and professionally, the Duke Energy family. He's been a great mentor and leader, and we're going to really miss him.
Thanks.
But we're also happy to see him go off into retirement on such a positive note.
You can always bring him back for a segment or something here on the show.
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of a sad day, but what a great customer service and community servant you've been. Up on screen, duke-energy.com is the website, which I hope you will check out. To Hank, and who we will continue to see, and Jimmy, thanks seriously for all you do for so many people.
Thank you.
All right, buddy.
Enjoyed it.
We'll be right back after this.
I am so
Why can no one help me?
Waiting
This is
to
a nightmare.
work. I think it's healthcare is broken.
At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, we get it.
Really?
Really. That's why we're making healthcare better for all. starting with you. Yes, you, Daryl. We're making plans easier to navigate by putting your benefits, prescriptions, and details all in one place. Convinced?
No, but it's a start.
We'll take it. Blue Cross North Carolina, making healthcare better for all, starting with you.
North Carolina's economy is growing, bringing new businesses and opportunities. The need for electricity is growing too. At Duke Energy, we're meeting the challenge, providing even more electricity that's cleaner, reliable, and that stays affordable. We're getting out of coal and reinvesting in our communities with a diverse, balanced mix of energy sources and making targeted upgrades to the grid so that North Carolina can thrive in a smarter energy future.
Back now on Triad Today, we welcome a first-time visitor to the show. Lenny Patterson's Manager of Community Engagement for the good folks at Shift Ed. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Jim.
You have some important responsibilities, and I want to talk about those because it helps so many people. Aside from all the other hats you wear and things you do to help people, you oversee what's called the Teacher's Supply Warehouse.
That's
now,
right.
I happen to know what that is, but let's just explain to people what it is and why it's needed.
Yeah, so the Teacher Supply Warehouse is a community collaboration where Guilford County Schools educators, so not just teachers, but anybody with a Guilford County School ID can come in and shop for free 4 times a year. They come in and shop in our brand new and then gently used section, and that equals around $150 to $300 a year, or when they're leaving, $150 to $300 for free for them up to 4 times a year.
So it's free.
It is free.
Give me an example, some examples of items that teachers might find in there to go in and pick up.
Oh yeah, so we have a lot of brand new supplies like composition notebooks, any type of paper, rulers, pencils, and then there's also a gently used section where community will donate, like retired teachers, people cleaning out their organization and bringing over supplies, and that looks like office supplies, paper, arts and crafts, history, science, so there's loads of things at the warehouse.
I think that's great. Now, the process, you mentioned just a minute ago about free to shop in there 4 times a year, you said, right? So how would if a teacher's interested and said, "Guy, I need some supplies," how would he or she know when these times are going to be? When can they go in? Do they have to make an appointment or what?
Absolutely, they do need to make an appointment. So they would go to our website, www.shift-ed.org. We are going to be putting the sign up for back to school season, actually, which we're really excited about, on the website in the next couple of weeks. And they would just go, they would find an appointment, and they would sign up, and then they would be able to come in during that appointment.
Now, how is all this funded? I mean, do you just have people donating supplies, or people buy supplies, or what?
It's a little bit of a lot of different things. So some of it is grants that we apply for, some of it is individual donors. When it comes to the gently used supplies, we stock that fully on community donations. So like I had said, retired teachers coming in, if like a law firm, for example, is all going remote, then they'll just take all of those supplies, bring it to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a particular item or items that if somebody watches this show and sees you on Triad Today, hey, I'm going to donate some things, maybe new things they've got, or extra supplies, too many that they have. What's something that you really need more of?
Absolutely. So we actually did a survey of GCS teachers not too long ago, and 400 people responded, and the top things that they need are office supplies, so like office organizers, any type of paper supplies, and then your traditional supplies like pencils, composition notebooks, spirals, crayons, colored pencils.
What kind of feedback have you received over time from teachers and educators about the warehouse?
They love the warehouse. I mean, it is absolutely needed. We just found estimates that North Carolina teachers spend $1,600 of their own money a year on classroom supplies, which is actually $600 more than the national average. The national average is $1,000.
Oh my Lord.
And also North Carolina teachers are one of the states that are paid the least amount.
Paid the least and having to spend more to help get supplies for their kids. That's just tragic, but I think what's great is the solution right here of Shift Ed helping out with this warehouse. Up on screen, shift-ed.org is the website you can go to and navigate through those portals and find out what you can do to help. Lenny Patterson, thanks for everything.
Thank you very much.
All right, my dear.
All right.
We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you that Triad Today also airs on GTN Spectrum Channel 13 and streams on WFMY Plus, free on Roku and Amazon Fire.
The world's brightest are Fulbrights, Goldwaters, McNairs, and Spartans. Prestigious doesn't have to be expensive.
And we know you will make a difference wherever you go.
UNCG. Find your way here.
Back now on Triad Today, we welcome one familiar face and one new visitor to the show. The new visitor is here. Well, I'll get to him in a second. But on the far right, our buddy Pat Pate, City Manager of Winston-Salem, City of Winston-Salem. Pat's special guest is the gentleman next to me, Brian Cheney, who's Assistant Director of Neighborhood Services. Good to see you.
Pleasure seeing you.
Pat, before I go to Brian, when somebody says code enforcement, what does that mean?
Yeah, it's a very broad term, and neighborhood services and the code enforcement branch, they really do a lot of things. But in essence, is when the city adopts particular codes, usually it's around property, we have to have a group that can go out and actually enforce those codes.
Right.
And that's what Brian and his group do. Is so if it's abandoned vehicles or tall grass, there's a variety of things that they'll take care of.
Yeah, jump on that if you would, Brian. What kind of things? Give me some more examples of things that might come under your purview.
Now, what we consider is environmental nuisances such as high weeds, high grass, overgrown shrubbery, trash, abandoned junk vehicles, and graffitis.
And a lot of people say, well, that just looks bad, but is it a health hazard? But sometimes it is, right?
Most definitely. It's a health hazard, and we enforce the ordinance and codes to protect. It's designed to protect public health, safety, and well-being of the community at large.
Yeah, and a lot of people say, hey, Mr. Cheney, that's my property. What business of the city is it? But it's everybody's business, isn't it?
Correct. There's a zone, and there's a statute and ordinance that the city requires us to enforce.
What of the ones that you mentioned, and then Pat, before you mentioned all the things you deal with, what's the most common complaint you seem to get, you and your team?
It would be trash. The trash. There's an abundance of trash, especially pre-COVID. Trash is everywhere, so we get a lot of complaints, and we cite a lot for trash.
Now, what about in resolving things? How do you typically resolve a problem, a complaint?
Well, what we do is we go out and we do the investigation. We spend a lot of time educating citizens. We want to make sure that they know exactly what they need to do to bring it in compliance, and we'll work with them to make sure that we don't have to go out and abate it for them.
What if you got a fight between a landlord and a tenant, let's say? It's not always a homeowner thing. Let's say a landlord and a tenant. Whose side are you going to take?
Well, we stay neutral. For us, when we're dealing with tenant, landlord, we actually just do the repairs. We force the owners to be able to complete those repairs. Anything other than that, we refer it to our Human Relations Department.
Give me a quick example in a few seconds of a tough case you've had to deal with that you've resolved.
The toughest is when it is a no trespassing sign. It slows down the process, and if it's trash out there, it continues to grow, so you got an issue with neighbors and the whole city as a whole. So what we do is we bring other forces. Maybe it's a hoarder, so we consult with our bear team. We bring people out there. We have to get an order of abatement to go out on the property to assess it, and that's a tough battle.
A lot of steps to take. Very quickly, anything that you do, any kind of events or resources that you offer to people, they can learn more about what they should and shouldn't do, anything like that?
Yes, on the 23rd, we got a code enforcement tour. So we'll be going to different locations throughout the city, and we'll do a presentation. We allow citizens to ask questions, and you can go onto our website under the Neighborhood Services Code Enforcement, and you'll see a list of those dates and times.
Just a few seconds left, Pat. Why is all this so important?
It's so important for quality of life in our community. So you have neighbors and you have individuals. So, as they say, one person's trash is another person's treasure. And so trying to make sure that we're doing a balance of making sure that the neighborhoods have a good quality of life for all the folks there,
right,
and that we protect individual property rights.
You know who in my household takes out the trash? Right here. You see that on the watch shop? I want to make sure I'm on the record with that. On screen, cityofws.org. Cityofws.org. You can go through those various portals, like Brian said, and get to neighborhood services. Please check that out. Guys, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Be right back after this.
free meals. What do you mean? No, seriously, how much did you pay us? I didn't pay anything. I learned how to cook all of these fresh foods that were delivered to my house. Everything in that grocery bag that's fresh, I had a recipe for it, and I know how to cook. It encouraged us to eat better, to shop better, make better decisions.
Banking is like going for a swim. You don't need all the complicated stuff, but you don't want to feel exposed either. At Truliant, we give you just what you need, so you can manage your money on the go or stop by a branch whenever you need to. It's all about having options, while also keeping life simple, with low rates, free financial advice, and friendly faces. So check out Truliant. We have just what you need.
Now boarding zone 3.
Back now on Triad Today, we welcome a first-time visitor to the show, and she does such great work along with the folks that she works with, Ricky and Kelly Prohl and their great foundation. I'm talking about Morgan Malachowski. She's Executive Director of the Power Play Foundation. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Just remind people about what the mission of the foundation is and who created it and why.
So in 1995, Ricky and Kelly Prohl, they had created this nonprofit organization to help break that barrier between those at-risk families throughout the Triad, not just Greensboro. And he was, if anyone knows Ricky, he's a 17-year-old veteran and 5-year coach in the NFL, and he's currently coaching in the UFL. So
Super Bowl winning guy.
Exactly.
Out at Prolific Park in Greensboro, there are a lot of activities and things go on. And so what kind of programs and activities and facilities are offered to kids that your team works with when they come in?
Well, for 22 acres and 86,000 square feet, there's plenty of things for the kids to get rowdy in, for sure. We have our Summer Blast program, our after-school program, we have our sports programming, and all other necessary programs and activities that we have there for those who are struggling financially, that we're able to assist them with those scholarship applications.
Yeah. And a lot of that whole element you guys bring to it is not just sports activities and whatever, but the interaction, the mentorship, stressing education. There's a lot to it, right?
There's a lot in the stories, and I'm thrown at the other side of the facility, not around all the other directors. I'm in front of all the children right outside my office, so you get to see them playing, you get to see them eating snacks, screaming outside, playing on the basketball court. It's just being able to provide that for those families and children in need is just something that's so rewarding that most people see.
And some of these kids would otherwise be latchkey kids and whatever. I just think it's great what you do. Now you have a big fundraiser coming up. What is that and when is it?
So June 25th, 6:30 to 9:30, we have our Blue Jeans and Bourbon fundraiser. We'll be having live entertainment from Blake Prohl, great food, bourbon tastings, silent live auction. It's always a great time, and it's fun, filled with people, and not even just local celebrities and celebrities from far away, but also families within the Triad.
Right, but it doesn't stop there, because of course this is a fundraiser to help the foundation, but the next day?
Yes, so June 26th, that Friday, starting at 9 a.m., we have a shotgun start at Grandover Resort. We have all of our golf teams coming out and enjoying themselves, lunches included, and just to get 18 holes in on a beautiful Friday in June. It's fantastic.
Now, I'm assuming that the proceeds from these two events, from the dinner and from the golf tournament, go to support the foundation. Will there be other things, are there auctions or anything else that helps to raise money during the events? Or?
Yes, so not only during that specific event, but we do have an event at GIA's, so that's for our Santa's Helpers initiative, and that also goes towards helping that 380 plus children and families support their children for Christmas and get them Christmas
gifts.
Really
make a difference at Christmas for these families, giving them gifts. Up on screen, I want to mention some things. Blue Jeans and Bourbon as Morgan mentioned, Thursday, June 25th, 6 to 9 p.m. That's at Prolific Park in Greensboro. Now, the next day, the Ricky Prohl Charity Golf Tournament, Friday, June 26th at Grandover, beautiful Grandover. The overall website, the main website is prolificpark.com. Prolificpark.com you can go to for more information. But folks, this foundation is a good cause, does a lot for the kids on a regular basis, and of course for kids and families at Christmas, as Morgan said. Morgan, don't be a stranger.
I definitely won't be. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for all you're doing, seriously.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.
You know, it's hard to believe the Safe Sober program has been going strong for over 30 years. And over 600,000 students have made the pledge to stay safe and sober on prom night. You know, Griff, it's had a huge impact on our community. Yeah, you're right, David. And now we're making sure the message continues year-round, so everyone can join us in supporting our students.
Learn more and take the pledge at safesober.com, sponsored by Daggett Schuler.
The world's brightest are Fulbrights, Goldwaters, McNairs, and Spartans. Prestigious doesn't have to be expensive. UNCG, find your way here.
At Sutton Brothers, we're confident we can help you solve your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs.
So confident that we'll fix it or it's free. Our highly trained technicians will diagnose your problem and fix it with either a repair or replacement.
And if we can't fix it, you won't pay the trip fee.
So the next time you have a problem, call us.
We'll make sure you're completely satisfied.
Guaranteed.
Call Sutton Brothers today and be confident things will be done right. Schedule online at suttonbros.com.
Major funding for Triad Today comes from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, making health care better for all. The Roundtable is brought to you by Sutton Brothers, locally owned and operated and serving all of your HVAC, plumbing, and electrical needs. Back now on Triad Today, just about time for the Roundtable with a quick shout out, not just to the Kernersville Auto Museum, which you come and see the cars for free on the weekends, do that, but also a shout out to our good buddy, Richie Powers, who's a volunteer, helps set up everything for us on Triad Today each week. Richie's in the hospital. Richie, we're thinking about you, buddy. Come back soon.
Get well.
Yep. All right. On my right, of course, Ogie Overman, Mr. Theater, Dave Briggs is with us, and Keith Granberry, founder of Helping Hands Consultants. And Dave, real quickly, you had something you wanted to mention?
Yeah, I'm working with the North Carolina Legislative Semi-Quincentennial Committee and the Celebrate America Foundation. They're doing a free concert at High Point Theater on July 3rd, and just reach out to the High Point Theater to get tickets.
Good deal. All right, now, 3 men were recently arrested for murdering a Winston-Salem man. It turns out that one of the assailants was awaiting trial for assaulting a Parkland High School teacher in 2024. More than an assault, it was very violent. Should anyone who's already charged with a violent crime be automatically denied bail until time for his trial, Ogie?
Well, the problem is that trials might take a year or more to come around, and unless it's a capital crime, you got to give bail to people.
I mean,
You just have to.
yeah, but this I don't know, Dave. What do you think?
Well, it was murder. That's a capital crime. I think for the murder, because of the other previous violent offense, he probably should not be. It should be set very high or not offered.
But beating up a teacher, a female teacher, Keith, that just worries me. This kid was out on the street, now he's killed somebody.
Yeah, I think the bail has to be very high if you do a violent crime and you're found guilty of that violent crime. A lot of times we're accused, but if you're found guilty, the bail should be placed very high.
All right, last week the Surgeon General issued an advisory about how kids and teens are harmed by the increasing number of hours they spend on their devices. As a result, they say, lack of sleep, worse performance in school, less physical activity. Guys, if smartphones are a health hazard now, the same as smoking and alcohol, should Congress make it illegal for anyone under 21 to own or use a device that gives them access to social media? Ogie.
That ship is way sailed, Jim. That's not going to happen ever. There's ways to get the kids off their phones, but taking them away completely to 21, nah.
Dave.
Yeah, put that genie back in the bottle.
Yeah, really.
This is up to parental discretion. Parents have to take control of that issue.
Mr. Granberry.
Absolutely. Congress should not be intervening on phone usage.
But the smoking and tobacco thing's a federal issue.
Yeah, but using a phone and controlling how kids use phone, that's just not That's not a health issue. That's
well, they're saying it is, Ogie and Dave. They're saying it's a health hazard.
Well, I don't agree with that.
Okay. Senator Bernie Sanders says that families are struggling to make ends meet, so he's proposing anyone making less than $150,000 a year receive a stimulus check for $3,000. Good idea or bad idea?
You go, Bernie. You my man. Yeah.
You think
checks in the mail? Well, if the Democrats got to take over the Congress.
Is this going to fly, Dave? Or?
No, I don't believe it's going to fly. It's kind of what got us into trouble in 2020, 2024, when they were giving out stimulus checks. I'd rather have my tariff check.
Yeah, that's right. Well, didn't the first one come out under Biden and then the next one under Trump? What was?
The first one was under Trump.
Okay. Keith, what do you think about getting a $3,000 check?
I think you should, but not at $150,000. I think it has to be much lower than that. But I do think that people should receive. I mean, the economy right now, people are hurting.
They are,
and there should be some support for those, but not at $150,000.
The IRS is considering adding a citizenship question to your tax form. You have a problem with that, Ogie?
They got no business doing that. IRS is over here. That's a totally different department.
All right, that doesn't bother me as much as Doug. Ogie, what do you do, Dave?
It doesn't bother me at all. In fact, it might actually help the census.
All right, well, all right. Keith, what do you think? That you have to answer a citizenship question?
No, you should not have to. I mean, if you're not a citizen, you're still paying taxes, aren't you? Am I correct in that statement?
Yeah.
So why should be?
All right, so why are we answering that question?
All right, President Trump now says he favors term limits. He proposes a limit of 3 terms for congressmen, which would be 6 years in office. 2 terms for senators, which would be 12 years in office. Guys, you okay with those term limits, the way he's got them outlined?
No, the numbers are wrong, Jim. 18 is the magic number. Think about it. It's 3 terms for senators, 9 terms for congressmen, and...
That many?
Well, yeah.
You like that?
Yeah, I'm okay with 9 terms, but really the important one is the Supreme Court.
They're not supposed to be there for life. I'm glad he finally listened to me.
All right. Keith, term limits?
No.
Keith hates term limits. All right, finally, Pabst Blue Ribbon is now offering a limited edition beer made with dill pickles, guys. You plan to buy any pickle-flavored beer, Ogie?
Not in a million years. Even if I were still drinking, I wouldn't drink that. That's crazy.
Dave.
I'm with Ogie. No, but hell no.
You don't want it. You don't drink any or buy any pickle-flavored beer, Keith?
I think some of your jokes are dill pickle.
You know, that hurts me deep. It hurts deep. It cuts deep, Keith.
It cuts real deep, doesn't it?
That's all the time we have. Keith, close your eyes and ears. That's all the time we have. Oh, except for this. A recent study by Oxford University said that over 90% of people are right-handed. Ask why so many people favor the right. One scientist said gerrymandering. You have to think about that for a second.
God.
For all of us except for Keith, who's never coming back, I'm Jim Longworth. We'll see you next week.